Hi, Aries. Welcome to your September Alchemy Scope. Thank you for your patience. I've been delayed, as you know, if you follow the other Alchemy Scopes. Typically, I run from new moon to new moon, and our new moon was 2 weeks ago. So this is late. So because of that, Aries, Libra, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius, which are the ones that are left, are intentionally being divined, being brought forward for the month of September. So these are a little bit different, and I appreciate your patience. I've had some things that I've needed to take care of and focus on. So let's start it off. So let's start with the symbology. So if you're new to the Alchemy Scopes, there are 6-pointed scope that are meant to bring forward in a holistic manner the cycles, patterns, stories, symbols, and archetypes that are flavoring not only the macrocosm for all of us on a collective basis, but also you as a microcosm, so your sign. Now, of course, for you as an individual, you'd have your own distinct story. And if you want to see me for private sessions, the links are below. Okay, so let's get started. Let's look at the flavor, the theme, the symbology that was imbued in the August 14th new moon, because that symbology flavors the energy set for the upcoming month for all of us on a macrocosmic scale. Now, the gorgeous thing, if you watch any of my other September scopes, is that the symbology that we had imbued, encoded within that cycle, this particular cycle that we're now in, here at the beginning of September, is the same one that we had at the point where Jupiter and Venus were conjunct on July 1st. And that symbol is a carrier pigeon fulfilling its mission. So what does that mean? One is that symbol is thick for this summer for all of us. So there's some completion, some message and some completion that is taking place. Something is happening that needs to be communicated, that needs to be delivered. Okay? This is collectively for us. So this particular cycle, this September cycle, this new moon to new moon, which is mid-August to mid-September, but again for you, so we're talking about the collective symbology for that till mid-September, it's really flavored. But for you, the rest of this reading will be for the entire month of September, okay? And it's going to fold in, because then when I do the October scopes, you're going to have another theme that's folding in for you. So it's all good. All these fold in and out anyway. There's no hard, direct, distinct. It stops here, it starts here. That's not how nature works. So a carrier pigeon fulfilling its mission. There's something unfolding for you now, some information intuitively or some information being given to you externally that is meant to be, that is serving you, that is poignant, that is karmic, that is something that is very timely now for your particular soul's evolution, okay? But again, this is the collective story. So all of us collectively are catapulting to a new level. And indeed, that is happening. At the end of September, which I'll talk about in another scope, we're already in it, this field of photon energy or neutrinos or whatever we want to call it. It doesn't really matter. But this information surge that is also an energy surge, which is also a consciousness surge, which is also a light surge, is happening. And there is going to be a culmination at the end of September. So indeed, a carrier pigeon is fulfilling its mission. There is some big stuff that is, it's like, you know, clicking the wheel, turning the wheel. It's like a cog in the wheel, you know, making a turn. There's a revolution happening, literally, externally on a collective and internally. So let's move on. So let's move on to then the I Ching, which I use to come up with the microcosmic energy set for your, that's flavoring you for this particular, again, month of September. For you, Aries. And you received the I Ching hexagram number 61, centering in truth. Now, as you know, if you know the I Ching, or if you've tuned in before, the the hexagrams are 6 lines stacked. And there's a lower trigram of 3 and upper trigram of 3. Each of these trigrams are symbols of an aspect of nature. And the lower trigram is a lake. So for this particular centering in truth I Ching hexagram, the bottom component is infused with lake. The upper is infused with wind. So let me read it here. So this is from the Visionary I Ching. Truth involves establishing an aware relationship between your inner core and your outer circumstances. Centering in truth involves the ability to perceive a fundamental wisdom reflected within yourself as well as in others. Truth is transformed into power when you disperse all prejudice and make yourself receptive to the world as it really is. The power can be a remarkable force indeed, yet is more rare than generally imagined. It can be maintained only by cultivating a genuine openness to the way things are, a willingness to see rather than to merely look. Whenever your inner life is clouded, your influence in the world is under a shadow. If you are fearful, you will be attacked. If you cloak genuine mysteries and dogma, opportunities for new insight will be lost. If you vacillate in upholding your principles, you will be tested. Yet, when you are firm and strong, the power of truth can break through even the most stubborn minds. In any debate, the power to perceive the truth in the other's argument is essential to achieving success. It is possible to influence even the most difficult people or improve the most difficult circumstance through the power of universal truth. For truth is something to which all beings naturally respond. Get in touch with that part of yourself that is aware of the universal force of truth. Cultivate this inner resource and you will become adept at using it to relate to others with a common purpose. So this is the energetic theme for you in September, Aries, okay? So let's move on. I went ahead and I am working with my Siri deck again this month. And this is my juicy 144 card deck that I made for myself. It's my own custom deck that I use for my own purposes. So, and it's exciting to share this with you, actually, this deck. And I've gotten some lovely compliments on it. These images are not resonant for everybody, nor should they be, because they're my symbols, my images are the things that bring me joy. So thus, if you haven't checked out the video that I made several months ago about making your own custom deck so that you can pull your own language, your own symbols, your own imagery, your own storied realities into your own language, your own words for your own deck, you might want to check that out, okay? I've already shuffled because it takes a little while for me to shuffle. Plus, as I said on another video, I like to keep it private because it's a sacred ritual. And I don't know. Not at this point do I want to share that online. It feels like it needs to be, it feels like there's aspects to the divination process that need to be kept sacred, you know? So I'm pulling my synchronic spread, which I do many months. I don't do it all months, but I do it most of the time. So let's see what we have, Aries. So again, when I pull up this spread, what I'm asking for, what I'm honing in on is what is the event or circumstance that's coming up for the majority of Aries-centric people that is the growth edge, right? That is the thing that's coming forward to push you into growth. Which, by the way, all circumstances and events are. Like anything that you tune in to here on YouTube, any of these divination, it's all the circumstances that are coming forward are your growth edges. That's what they are. But that's how I word it because my focus is on soul evolution. So at the center, a center theme for at least some, if not a majority of Aries-centric people out there are, it's about communication. You might be feeling either lonely or feeling like you don't have the quality of communications that you'd like. and you're wanting, you're imagining, you're thinking about friends, friendships, relationships. And perhaps what was a lack of communication, you're wanting more. You're wanting more communications to come forward. So now there could be a tie for some of you about money. So it could be communications with regards to money. But what I'm really getting, because this card is financial abundance, but it's also abundance, just natural abundance, flow of life source that comes through, that provides us with an abundance of love, of care, of support, of delight, of fun, you know, whatever it is, whatever we want. And indeed, it does look like it's that. So it could have to do with a friend that you're connected to with regards to money. However, that's not what I'm getting from this spread. It does look like this has something to do with your, something bigger that you're planning for yourself. And it could be that you're starting to tap into a bigger area of dreaming your mission forward. What you want to do. There's an impetus within you that's starting to burgeon, that's starting to come forward, that's starting to call. And that, by the way, is not surprising at all, especially this month. September, for a lot of us, if I would say all of us actually, is going to be powerful. It's going to be a force. Anything that you're working on now, any projects, creative ventures, partnerships, relationships, like creative partnerships, or just loving friendships, supportive community, you're going to have movement there, and you're going to want it to happen soon. Like you're going to be thinking about relationships that you need to support your mission, to push you, to bring you, to help you, to support you into the next phase. You're going to be focused this month, Aries. You're going to have this. So on a spiritual level, you're going to feel like a deep desire, like a resolute goal within you. You're going to feel it surge about discerning. And it's going to be unusual for you. Like maybe you have had a lack of focus lately. In fact, I know some Aries people that have had some rapid thought shifts going on. And it's not necessarily confusion. It's just there's lots of information pulsing in. It's electric, right? With Uranus going through your sign, that's unsurprising. But even if Uranus isn't directly on your natal sun, that doesn't really matter. I do know people that are activated with thought. So this cycle of September for you, Aries, which is interesting because we do have this, what I'm going to call a surge, an upwelling of energies coming forward. You are going to be in a space of unusual discernment. Like you're going to be able to be clear, gain clarity about some things with regards to your mission, your desires, what you're wanting for yourself right now, your goals right now. There's going to be some emotional habits. You're going to get clarity, Aries. This is very exciting. I have to say, this is gorgeous. You are going to get clarity. So that discernment card that came up is directly tied to this other pole of the spread. You are going to get clarity on your emotional habits and about the structure, the foundations of why you feel certain things about certain things, why you are responding emotionally in the way you are with regard to relationships. Because I would say communications in relationships is the key thing, which is what I said before. That's the central theme around which all of this is kind of unfolding. So there's going to be clarity that is going to be, it's like the energetic theme for you is to gain clarity. But then simultaneously with that is you will have the opportunity, like you're going to be supported if you tap in to gain clarity around your emotional habits, around that which is the foundations of how you respond to people and how you communicate with people. This is actually a beautiful spread. But it's interesting because what's coming forward, Aries, for you is when you tap in and access this discernment that's at hand for you now, you are going to be able to tap into this abundance with regards to your mission. And again, your mission is going to be different for every person out there watching. You could have a different, first of all, this could be a short-term goal, mission, or a long-term. This is what I'm going to recommend for you, though, because this is the same recommendation I have for everybody right now. You do want to tap into your longer goals. You want to tap in for your goals for the next several years, like the next 5 years. You want to tap in because what's happening is great shifts are unfolding. And you want to hone your thoughts about what your desires are. What do you want? You are a co-creator. This is a matter of you really owning that and really developing a sense of confidence when it comes to that. So I do want to tell you that this is also in the center section here, this dream card. There's an expansion that's wanting to happen that you're dreaming about with regards to your communications. And it's in regards to friends and community. I would say it's friends, but it's also people you connect with. It's your network. So dream it this month, Aries. Dream it, and dream it for not just the short term, dream it also for a longer term, because with these movements we're all going through, we're kind of, we have access to manifest a lot, but it requires our clarity, it requires our stillness, it requires us to be discerning, okay? So let's take a look at the Ascended Master. This is Doreen Virtue's deck, and let's see what Ascended Master is, has a special guidance for you at this point for the month of September. That one wanted to come. Green Man, retreat into nature. Now, this is perfect because because of these energy surges, we do want to ground ourselves. We are an electric current. This will help you meditate against trees, sit in grass, walk barefoot on dirt, on grass, you know, on earth, because it will ground you and it'll help focus you. It'll help with your discernment. So this is a beautiful guidance for you. Green Man, be in nature this month. Carve time, create time for it. I would really recommend that. Okay, good. So this is Carolyn Mrs. Archetype card deck. And like I always do, we're going to pull out the qualities that are asking to be up-leveled, to be evolved within you this month for the cycle of your soul's journey. Okay. I want to mention something else too. Beautiful. So you get Monk Nun. Let me read it and then I'll show it to you. So evolving negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety to selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. The reason why that is so gorgeous is because the discernment card came up in the spiritual sector. So single-minded, be clear, be razor sharp, be connected, be discerning, hone yourself spiritually. This is very exciting. I have to say, this is gorgeous. So that's the quality set that wants to evolve within you. Now, Aries, one thing that I did want to mention for you is when I was shuffling this deck, my Siri deck, your spread came very quickly, meaning it depends. Sometimes I have to shuffle quite a long time in order to get to the place where it's ready, where it's done, where it has the message to come. Yours came relatively quickly, and it was and I get a certain signal, an electric signal in my hands that tell me what, where, and when, right? And yeah, I was intrigued with that because I'm delayed in getting your reading out this month. It's like it couldn't wait to get out to you. So I send you so much love and support with that. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. Now we have one last component here, and this is your Dakini. Now the Dakini Goddess, and what I've been saying this month, which is the truth for all of the alchemy scopes I've been doing since last December, is that, you know, these scopes start with the 64 I Ching, the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching, and then it ends with the 64 Dakinis of Penny Slinger's 64 Dakini Oracle, which are based on the 64 Yogini Dakinis, so of India. So we start with the 64 hologram, this mandala, and we end with the same. And I just want to point that out because it's meaningful. And it just emerged. Like that was just a natural evolution of what happened with the spreads, what wanted to come. So you received, okay, so when I call forward the Dakini Goddess for any sign, for you, what I asked Spirit, what I always ask Spirit is, which embodiment, so which goddess, whether you're male or female watching, which goddess are you to become this month? And if you were to do so, it would optimally serve your flow, your bliss, and your synchronicity flow this particular month for the cycle in what you're going through, right? In the themes that are playing out. You receive number 8, Fairy Queen. And I'm going to read a little bit here. It's a long PDF or semi-long. And Penny Slinger wrote this up. She's fabulous. And I've linked to that on the online library, and you can link to that below this video. If you want to dive deeper, you can do that. And her link is below this video as well. So you receive number 8, Fairy Queen. She comes from the air, the subtlest vibration, into the earthly elements, then disappears into air again. She presides over the elemental kingdom and all the magical beings of that realm. She represents the inner light of the natural world. Now again, green man, okay? The Western version of the spirit in all things. She is connected with the Celtic tradition. She is the representative of the world of fairy. The Fairy Queen has graced you with her presence to let you know that you need to let more magic into your life. Time to lighten up and see the playful, whimsical nature of things, Aries. Play with your emotions. Watch them as they arise and suspend. Oh, watch them as they arise, meaning your emotions, and suspend the need for reaction so that you can watch them all play through you with equal bemusement. Now keep in mind your emotional theme that is the specific growth edge for you this month. See it like a movie. Sadness and happiness, being angry or being pleased, frustration or completion, all of these will appear as flickering light on the screen of your being, and you, like Fairy Queen, view it all with a knowing smile. See, this is getting to this place of understanding, of kind of triangulating out of ourselves and looking at ourselves from a holistic, our higher self's holistic point of view. Makes everything so much easier. Makes life so much happier and better and easier. Fairy Queen doesn't take anything too seriously. How could she? She asked for if she did, such thoughts would be heavy and weigh her down. She is light as a feather after all, so how could she be able to fly if she were heavy? She prefers the thoughts that have wings. They are light and travel on the softest breeze and catch the imagination with their suggestions of what could be. So again, dreaming, imagining. Remember the dreaming, imagining card came up. Hold on. So this card right here is a very fairy card, because this is the astral plane, but it's also just other levels of consciousness as a whole. And it's the imaginal part of us that is very real. So it's the imaginal realm. So I love this for you. She is the purveyor of such suggestive thoughts and fantasies. She is the portal to communicating with the elementals of the elements. She reveals her fairy queendom, which coexists with her own hidden yet vibrant. Everything around you, all of nature, is filled with elemental energies, invisible beings who coexist with our visible known reality. This sensitive realm is filled with delicate, subtle energies. The fairy queen reveals her realm for those who have eyes to see it. You must have those eyes. Whether you think you believe in fairies or not, whether you think you believe in fairies or not, or she would not have shown herself to you now, how could she? So this is written a little bit, sometimes I find her sentences are a little odd, at least for me to read. And sometimes there's some grammatical stuff, but it's brilliant. She's brilliant. And this is brilliant. And there's more here. So if you want to tap in, the link for the library is below. I do want to just summarize, though, for Fairy Queen Aries, for you, this is a matter of tapping into the deep spiritual aspect of yourself, going into the, it's interesting because with the discernment card in the spiritual sector brought together with seeing magic, it's like the discernment is not going to be your left brain creating definitions or attempting to create definitions on the right brain, holistic, creative, spiritual sector of your mind, brain, soul. It's not that at all. It's really the discernment that's asking to come to play during this month cycle for you is about discerning the magic that's there, the magic that's real. So for you to embody this fairy who has the eyes to see the magic that does abound, because it does, you're going to be served this month. So Aries, that's it for this month. I wish you a wonderful month ahead. It will be a powerful one. Keep yourself grounded. And, you know, look for your October scope mid-month at the new moon point. And so you're going to have a double flavor. You're going to have like a rollover effect between the last 2 weeks of September. Okay? So until soon, I'll talk to you soon. One last note, that if you do have any need for individual sessions, I provide those and the link is below. I'll talk to you soon.